Last year, my husband and I made the decision to renovate our front porch. To be honest, it was in pretty bad shape, so we really had to, but we're still glad with the decision and decided to record the progress and share a video on it. So if you haven't seen that yet, I do have that linked in the description box below. So that leads us to today. So Harvey and I were talking about how much we love the transformation of our front porch, but got to thinking that maybe it needs a bit more pop of color and curb appeal. So we made a list and decided to measure out our front porch and go to Home Depot and purchase some pavers, some mulch and gravel, and some flowers, and got to work. One of the first things we did before heading to Home Depot was measure out what needed to be added to the front of our flower beds. So we just took I believe this is a 1x3 piece of board that he had laying about in his garage, and kind of took an old ruler and measured it out. There was no exact to this. It was just kind of a roundabout. And then we headed over to Home Depot with our measurements and bought some paver stones, some gravel, and some mulch, and came back and started digging up our front porch. I do have to warn you though, the front of our porch or our front lawn was very, very tough ground. It was a bit of a struggle for me and Harvey to dig it up, but eventually we got started. And even though we make it look super easy on this video, this is not for the faint of heart. This is a very, very labor heavy job. So just be careful. If you have any back issues or any issues with your health, do not try to do this because it is super, super difficult. So as you can see here, Harvey's just digging up the ground, and we're just kind of digging through and getting rid of some old weeds and making a path in our front lawn so that we know where to plant our flowers. Some pieces came out super easy, and then other pieces were very difficult to kind of like dig up and pull out. But we were determined to do it, so we did get a chance to complete this all in a couple of hours. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Awilda, and my channel is dedicated to all things home, whether it's a DIY project, a renovation project, cleaning, cooking, home decor, etc. You'll find it here in my channel. So if you like that type of content and you enjoy the quality of my videos, definitely hit that subscribe button and make sure to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified of when I post other videos. So continuing on here, as you can see, Harvey and I are digging through, or at least Harvey's digging through, but we got a little visitor from the front of our house. A little bunny rabbit came to see us. So here's a small footage of us excited about this bunny. Yeah, I've never seen a rabbit come near us. Are we getting a pet bunny?
Yeah, if he comes up here.
He turned back around.
He did? Oh.
He's watching us, but he's turning back around. Babe, don't move, don't move, don't move, don't move, don't move. He's right next to us.
Oh my God. Hi. Hi. How are you?
Don't acknowledge him.
How are you?
Baby's getting closer.
Are you gonna get all the way over here? Hi. He's right behind you.
So after a few minutes, the bunny rabbit did leave, and we were able to continue working on our front porch here. As you can see, Harvey did continue to dig through and kind of even out the floor so that we can add the rest of the materials. As you can see here, we're just rolling out this control top film. It's supposed to help reduce the growth of weeds, so we decided to throw that in there. And we did not put any pins or anything like that down. We just decided to use the rocks that we're going to have alongside some mulch. after laying down the tarp, we are now adding some stones to the front of the house in a back and forward pattern, just so that we can have them connect a little bit easier. We're not putting anything between them as far as like gluing them together or anything like that. We're just laying them down and kind of creating a pattern with them and just continuing through all the way to the other side of the porch. Here I have a quick little DIY project that we did. The stones in the front of our house were actually a light gray color, and since we have a lot of black and blue in the front of our house, we decided to paint it. So we bought this waterproof sealer for the decking. So we just went and had them do a tint to it. Just make sure that the product that you use has a tint base to it, like the one here, so that they can add whatever color choice you'd like. And so we went with this really dark gray stain, and we actually love it. It looks absolutely amazing. So we're very happy with the look of the stones. So now Harvey's just adding some mulch to the front here. We chose this black mulch, which is painted black, I believe. They spray paint regular mulch to look black, and it looks really, really cool. It looks so pretty. It does fade pretty quickly in the sun. Later on in the video, you'll see that we put some mulch down and we had ran out of mulch. So we had to go back to Home Depot and purchase some more mulch. And when we laid them side by side, the coloring was a bit off, but then eventually the sun kind of evened the coloring off, and they both had this great coverage, and it was pretty much the same tone throughout. So it had me thinking, do people use mulch for the front of their lawns all the time, or do you prefer a different product, or maybe just gravel? I don't know. So just let me know down in the comments down below. What is it that you like to use for your flower beds or for the front lawn to kind of spruce up your curb appeal of the house? We have downspouts that are all black, and that's the color that I chose because I absolutely love the way it makes the blue pop in the front of our house. So the water right now kind of leads into this part of the porch, and since we extended the front of the porch to kind of go off to the wraparound to the side, Harvey and I decided to extend the downspout a little bit beyond where the water was laying before. And we bought this inexpensive kit at Home Depot, and it just helps to extend the water beyond where our flower bed is out onto the lawn. As you can see here, this is what I was talking about with the mulch. Although the mulch was purchased the same day, within a few hours of each other, for some reason the sun kind of really diluted the color the first time around. And when we added the second batch of mulch, it did look off for a little bit, but by the next day or later on that day, the color looked all even, so we weren't too worried about that. And right now Harvey's adding some of these pebbles to underneath the little spout because he feels like it's just him being extra. He likes to make sure that everything's level so nothing gets weighed down. So this helps the gravel helps the water to be guided away from the house. Here he's adding some more mulch to the side, and then towards the end here he is going to be putting 2 paver stones onto where I believe that's our gas line and where our hose is, so that way when we need to access the hose, we don't have to worry about stepping on mulch or gravel, and the stones came out beautiful.
Wanted to get it right, trying to find some balance in my life. I never really put up a fight, and now I'm losing sleep. What if I lost touch? What if I'll never get it right? I try to follow my heart, but I lost it somehow. Wish that someone could say it'll all be okay. Just listen to me as I say. Listen to me as I slow it down. Dreams still yours if you want it. Enjoy the ride, 'cause those ups and those downs is what makes it worth it. Slow it down. Dreams still yours if you want it. Enjoy the ride, 'cause those ups and those downs is what makes it worth it.
So the next day, once we were done with the mulching, we decided to stop for dinner and take a break. So the next day we went back to Home Depot and purchased some flowers. Harvey and I decided to go with these. I believe they're perennials, but I'm not too sure because and they were both in the perennial section and in the annuals. And so we weren't too sure. So we liked the coloring and we thought we'd give it a try and see how it would look for this year. And hopefully they'll continue to grow for next year. So right now Harvey's just lining up where the flowers are going to go, and then he's making a little path. He is going to be drilling with his drill using a specialized bit, and I'll list everything in the description box below so you'll know what they are. But he's just making a hole with this drill, and then he's going to be digging it out with his shovel and placing the flowers in. A trick we picked up was if you add water to the inside of the ground before you add your flowers, and then you take the flowers out of the pot, loosen up the bottom so that the flowers can absorb more of the water before you finish planting them.
Full stop. Can't believe I live in your thoughts. I think about you all the time, morning, evening, and midnight. Such a wonderful delight. Forgo, give up everything that I own. Yeah, I'd give it all up now just to be with you somehow. Unexpected love was.
Here we're just grabbing some of the grass that we purchased from Home Depot, and we're just tearing off the base or the pot that it's in, because for some reason the grass's stems had started to wrap itself around that, and we didn't want to do any harm to the plant. So here we're just cutting it off and loosening up the flower before we add them to the ground as well.
You in my arms, won't let go. The world around could pass us by, a thunderstorm, a lightning strike, as we hold each other tight. You're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest.
A few days ago, Harvey and I went to Walmart and we purchased these planters. They've been sitting on my back porch for a little bit because I've been wanting to plant some flowers in the front. And so Harvey and I decided to add them. And so here we're just drilling some holes into the center of the planter so that any excess water can kind of drain through and not over water the plants. Sometimes it does get a little windy where we live, so we did add some stone to the back as well as some leftover gravel. Here we have a little bit too much stone, so Harvey did remove some, and then we put some gravel in there as well. And then we just placed our plants on top to allow some water to run through. We used to have these really cute acorn path lights in our front, but over time people have broken it by accident, whether it was kids playing or the mailman walking through or when it was raining or too much snow. Over time, as you know, they break. So we purchased these at Walmart as well at the same time that we purchased the planters, and we thought they were very, very pretty, very cool, and they weren't too bad to add to the ground. It looks so modern and so streamlined. The box comes 6 of them in the set, and it is $20. As you can see here, Harvey's just hammering in I believe that's a screw or flathead, and he's just making a small hole at first and then taking the stake and hammering that in just to make it a little easier to hammer in the stake. Then he added the lighting and peeled back the little protective film that it had. One thing that I did not show in the video was that he also switched the battery light on, because each one has a little off on switch on the inside that you just quickly switch it over and then place it back. So yeah, that was a very fun addition to our lawn. And lastly, we added a little bit more water to our plants just to make sure that they were nice and wet. And that's it. We are done with our front lawn project for now.
And it shows, if I'm honest, you're the leaves in mid-August.
Thank you so much for watching, guys. This is it, the end of the video. If you liked it, please make sure to leave me a thumbs up. And if you made it all the way to the end of the video, also leave me a little plant emoji under the comments below so that I know you watched to the end. Again, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all on the next video. Bye.
Hold you in my arms, won't let go. The world around could pass us by. A thunderstorm, a lightning strike as we hold each other.